Hello YouTube, this is Bonnie from Dragon Soap. Welcome to another soaping adventure. Oh darn, hold on just a second. Fragrances always change at least a little bit. Some of them barely detectable, some of them unrecognizable, which is why we test. So just because it doesn't smell apricot and freesia-y in the bottle doesn't mean it won't in the soap. It might. And I'm finally getting around to testing black raspberry. This is MMS's knockoff of the black raspberry vanilla, which is what, Bath & Body Works. I know this is a really popular one, and I haven't tried it till now just because there are so many wonderful fragrances to try, and you know, just others sounded better. But I was playing around with some lip balm, and I tried a flavor oil called Raspberries and Cream, and oh my god, it is absolutely wonderful. It's a little bit sweet and it's creamy and it just smells wonderful. And I thought, wow, if the black raspberry and vanilla is anything like raspberry and cream, it's going to be awesome. And it doesn't smell at all like it to me, but raspberries and cream is the only non-fragrance oil I'm trying today. It's actually a flavor oil. I don't expect it to hold up to the lie. I expect that if I want to use this in soap, I'll have to hot process it. But you never know until you try, and since I'm doing some experimenting, we'll experiment with that. But the black raspberry, just in case you haven't tried it yourself, immerse your senses in this wonderful aroma and experience the fusion of juicy, ripe raspberry enveloped in rich, luscious vanilla. Compare this to the Bath & Body Works Black Raspberry Vanilla. I certainly couldn't think of a better combination than fresh berries and exotic vanilla. Kind of got a point there. The next one we're going to try is French Lime Blossom Fragrance. Now this is not lime blossom as in the citrus fruits, which is what really piqued my interest because I've smelled lemon blossoms and orange blossoms when I lived in California, and they're wonderful. So I thought, oh, lime blossoms, that's probably going to be great too, but this isn't citrus lime blossoms. This is, the lime tree is also known as the linden tree or the basswood tree in the UK. I'm probably going to mangle this, Talia, is that how you pronounce it? The description is, this lovely new fragrance is dreamy and sophisticated. No, that's not the part I wanted to read. Linden is a smooth fragrance, womanly, floral, clean and fresh. It is not a heavy floral like rose or gardenia. It is actually a little bit heavier than some of the others, at least in the bottle. They included a sample with some body cream that was fragranced with this, and it was wonderful. It was a perfect fragrance for the body cream, but we'll try it in soap. Have you ever smelled the Into the Wild perfume? Our next fragrance oil in our lineup is Into the Wild Type. It's a duplicate of that perfume. Into the Wild is an intoxicating combination of zesty mandarin, pear blossom, and red currant, swirled around magnolia blossoms, night blooming jasmine, and wild honeysuckle. Last but certainly not least, we have ended in base notes of patchouli leaves, tonka beans, and wild musk. Those last three are probably what I'm smelling. To me, when I smell it, it smells just a little bit spicy, and I think that's those last three. Lilac, of course everybody knows what lilac smells like, unless you live in like Hawaii or maybe Alaska or maybe someplace else. Lilac is wonderful. I tried their lilac oil several years ago, and I put in the normal amount I usually use, and it's a very strong fragrance, and I just never got around to using it since then, but I've had a couple friends ask for it, so we are trying it again. I don't know if they've changed it in the intervening years. Sometimes they do. Next in our lineup is Rhubarb and Sugarcane Fragrance. I thought that would be a good springy kind of fragrance. Rhubarb and sugarcane is a tangy mixture that has grapefruit, pomegranate, and zesty pomelo at the forefront. There is a simple floral note of white lily, juicy black currants, and delicate pink roses to assist with this snappy fragrance. This is a morning shower, run through the day type of scent. Fresh, clean, fun, and energized. While times may have started this trend, we certainly have improved because our vision is ready for your soap. Times is capitalized. I assume it's the name of a company that made a perfume like rhubarb. I don't know. I don't know if this is a knockoff. It doesn't say. Again, it's hard to really pick out sugarcane and rhubarb notes, at least for me. Maybe someone with a better nose could do it, but it's a nice light springy kind of fragrance. And then the last one we're going to try today is Tahitian Flowers fragrance. Tropical Paradise of Tahitian Gardenia, a fresh twist of tropical fruit, all in one sensual fragrance. It is not as rich and kind of heady as some of the gardenia type fragrances I've smelled. It's lighter and fresher and more springy. So, oh darn, I spilled a drop of castor oil on my gloves. And I just saw it and thought, ooh, a drop of water, I should wipe that off on my pants. I don't want to wipe castor oil on my pants. Oh, and you know what? My lye water is still outside cooling. I'll be right back. Okay, I made a mistake when I was printing out my recipe, my soap recipe today. I use an Excel spreadsheet, and I have a sheet that has all the oils and their saponification values. And then on my recipe, I just copy in the name of the oil and use a lookup to get the saponification value, and then multiply it times the number of ounces I'm going to use. Well, instead of copying in coconut oil, I copied in cocoa butter. And cocoa butter uses a lot less lye than coconut oil. I'm hoping to get some little air bubbles out of this. That's why I'm tapping. A tappa-tappa, like Chef John always says. Give it the whole tappa-tappa. So I realized it when I started measuring out my oils, and I had to go back and recalculate and add a little bit of sodium hydroxide to my lye water. So it was outside finishing cooling, and it is nice and cool now, so we're good to go. Oh, just leave me there. And my cat, of course, he can spend all day sleeping on the back of the couch ignoring me, but as soon as I start to do something, he wants pets, and he gets demanding. Well, he's just going to have to wait. So, on with the lye water. I'm not using any whipping cream today just because I just want to use my basic recipe to see how the fragrance oils behave, and B, I was out and too lazy to run to the store. Let me add this. Things I'm going to be looking for in the fragrance oils does it stay true? I mean, does it smell in the soap as it smelled in the bottle? Or does it get better, or does it just change and I like the change? I'm also going to be looking for whether or not it just colors the soap. That's pretty important if you want to do a batch of soap with it and do fancy colors or something like that. If it's going to turn it brown, you don't want to be using light pink and light blue. Now, I don't want to really trace this. I just want to make sure it's good and mixed. The other thing I'm going to look for is, does it seize when I add the fragrance oil? Or rice or anything else like that. And I think that's probably... I would hate to not blend it enough, but I don't want to over blend it because it's going to take time to do these 9, and by the time I get to the end of it, things will be thickening up. Okay. And as you can see, I went back to my original stick blender. I wasn't really crazy about that other one. I didn't think it would work. I wanted to try it and see. Okay. 9. Yowzers. Does anybody say that anymore? I mean, besides me? My strategy here is to pour a little bit less than ½ pound and then top them all off so they're about the same. We'll see how well that works. I'm kind of guessing at what ½ pound is. I think I overguessed a little bit. I need my spatula. Fortunately, I have on hand my spatula. Sorry for showing you the bottom end of the bucket here, but I am not ambidextrous. Well, those are all fairly close to the same. Now, let's see. We'll just start with one. This one is Tahitian flowers. Let's take these gloves off. I know I shouldn't do that, but $6 mils is 2 of these all the way up to the top. There's 3. 6. Oh, that smells good. It does have a little bit of that gardenia scent in it. Normally I like to blend fragrances in with a stick blender, but I'll do different colors with the same blender, but you know, if you get a little bit of pink in with the blue, it doesn't matter all that much, but I don't think that's going to be the case with fragrance oil. It just seems like it would be too... Sorry, apparently I can't talk and pour at the same time. So that seemed like a good one to do these little hearts. And I set the bottle of fragrance at the end, and then I'll put the soaps that are made with it lined up after it, and hopefully I won't get all confused by doing it this way. Now that is very slightly starting to thicken up, but it is not bad. That's certainly no ricing or anything. It smells very nice so far. Okay. Okay, and the next one, rhubarb and sugarcane. 3. Oh, this does smell nice. I hope it sticks in the soap. I've had pretty good luck with the MMS fragrances. One of my all-time favorite fragrances is from MMS. It's Rain Orchid. Well, it's the one I did in the last video, and it smells quite a bit different in the bottle, and I really don't like it in the bottle. I almost didn't try it because of that, but people kept saying it was wonderful, and they kept saying it smelled different. You know, it changed, and it smelled better in the soap, so I finally went ahead and tried it, and was so glad I did. It really is wonderful. I don't know if there's such a thing as a rain orchid flower and it's trying to smell like that, or if it's got the name because it's like a rain scent, or what, but it's gonna spill over. Drat. I am gonna have a heck of a mess on my hands by the time I'm done. There. Take that. All better. Okay, what's next up? Give myself a little room to work here. How about Into the Wild? One. That does smell good. Well, you can hear my nose, can't you, when I sniff in like that? Let's use blue for these too. Probably 4, 5. Uh-oh. Let's hope it's only 5. I've got half my room taken up and this is only the 3rd fragrance. Maybe I shouldn't do 9 at a time. You can see this is already thickening up. Not thick enough that it's going to cause a problem, but you know, it's been sitting. There we go. Forward. So we can use that somewhere else. what's next? French Lime Blossom. Just in case I got a little soap on my finger. I don't think I did, but you know, I didn't look at how far up that went. Doesn't do any good to use a measurer if you don't look at it. Golly! I suppose if I have a little bit left over, that's okay. I don't know if you can see anything in the camera. I need a better place for my camera. If I had a taller tripod, I could put it behind me. But I don't. So it has to go on the counter, and the only place to do it is right where it's at. You know what? I'm going to move this banana bread. Yes, I made banana bread. Okay, what's next? One, two, three, four. Yeah, raspberries and cream. This actually, I don't know if it has any vanilla in it. I would not be surprised. It's thicker than fragrance oils. Oh, it smells wonderful. It's not a real spring fragrance. More of a warm, summery kind of fragrance, I think. Take another one. As you can tell, I didn't do such a good job at getting exactly half of a pound in each container, or the same amount in each container, but that's okay. What next? Let's use the yellow. Since my sleeve kept getting caught in it. Oh no, that's just a... Let's use this one. We will, since we just did raspberry, let's use the black raspberry. Oh, come on. There we go. You really have to squeeze the air out to get this little pipette full of fragrance oil. So it is pouring down rain outside. We've actually had some pretty nice weather lately, so I can't complain. I actually like the rain. Oh! Oh my! my, that smells nice. You know, sometimes you take a whiff out of the bottle and you don't get it all. You put it in the soap and it starts stirring it and, oh, yes, I can see why people like that. Some people say it's their best seller. Well, if it survives the lye, yeah, that's very nice. I like that. Oh, back. Come on. Well, that'll be the bar I use to test. I always test all my soap the day I unmold it, unless it's too soft. Oof, sorry, my glasses are fogging up. Okay, let's try the little thatched cottage molds. And I will probably need to use a couple of those little cupcake molds. What do we do? Oh, Apple Blossom Queen. If I had a helper, the helper could read the description as I do this. But I don't have a helper, so. One, two, three more spoons. Yes, this is definitely thickening up. You can't. Fortunately, when you stir it up, it loosens up a bit. Oh, that smells like something. What does it smell like? Apple Queen Blossom, Apple Blossom Queen. Oh, I should have done these first. Put this thick stuff into these molds with the fine detail and you lose the fine detail. Didn't think of that. These should have been the second ones I did. Oh well. We're testing fragrances here, not making detail soaps. Still, it's nice to have a nice detail. I don't know how much of that you can see. I hope you didn't see my head. My scraggly hair. I didn't blow dry. I just took a shower and let it air dry, so it's looking scraggly. But it's, you know, I almost said Sunday night. I took today off. We did not get today off at work, but I took it off anyway. So I'm going to use the heart molds next. And I'm going to use apricot freesia. The last time I tested fragrances, by the time I was done, you could see some of these already starting to turn color. I was doing some fragrances that had vanilla in it. Frosted Cupcake and Brown Sugar were a couple of them. And they definitely turned color. And it looks like this Raspberries and Cream is starting to, which isn't a surprise. I wouldn't want to have taken my goggles off if this were still really, really runny, because the chances of it splashing up would be much greater. And of course I'll put them back on when I wash up. I take that very seriously. When I was in college, my physics professor had one eye that was closed all the time. And I met him before our chemistry professor because he was our engineering club leader. And when we got to chem lab, our chem professor told us what happened. He had been taking chemistry in college and cleaning up. He took his safety goggles off to clean up, and some acid splashed up into his eye. That's all it took. So yeah, I take it seriously. In fact, no, I can't put them back on. The thing came off. Okay, that was apricot freesia. And this last one is going to be lilac. I wonder if I want to go a little light on this. Nope, I'll use the same amount as always, as with the others, and then if it's really strong, I'll know to use less when I make the soap. Oh, it is a nice lilac-y fragrance. See how thick it's getting? Can you? I don't know if this is still in the camera. It's not always easy to tell. I mean, those of you who have been doing videos a lot longer than me, you know this. It's not always easy to tell what the camera's looking at. This really is a nice lilac. I actually don't mind having a little dollop on the top. Okay, that is it. 9 fragrances. It looks like the raspberries and cream flavor oil is starting to turn yellow, which is not unexpected. It looks like the black raspberry is too, a little bit, not as much as the regular raspberry. That could be because I did it afterwards, but black raspberry vanilla wouldn't be a big surprise. Everything else, this one might be a little bit too, the lime blossom. Or it just could be because it's next to the other one. Most of these look like they're staying pretty white. But we will see. I guess that's it for now. I will come back and unmold these. Probably not tomorrow, probably the next day, but you won't be able to see it until I have a chance to edit the video and upload it and everything after next weekend anyway, so it doesn't really matter because it'll be by then. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye!